Welcome to Overserved.
Finally.
Are we in? Did we make it?
Finally.
My God. Oh, I don't know if it was you or me.
A little bit of a different format for this week's episode. I am recording this at my parents' house in Michigan, where I am currently celebrating my little brother's 18th birthday. Super producer Daniel Westoff also at his parents' house in Louisville, trying to spend a little bit of quality time with them. So things are going to be a little bit different today. No green screen for me in the background. Still, we never want to leave you Cracked Racquets fans hanging. There's always so much fun content for us to poke fun at. Hopefully you haven't missed anything we've talked about thus far. You have already subscribed to our YouTube channel to ensure that you never miss any of our Cracked Racquets video content. But with that said, let's start today's show. As you saw with the video we played in the intro, the place we have to start this week is the plethora of Instagram Live content that was provided to us by so many of these professional tennis players. They're taking advantage of this moment, cranking out the sort of content that we tennis fans are in desperate need of. And it's gone fairly seamlessly, although it was very clear early on in his Instagram Live session that while Rafa Nadal is the king of clay, he is far from the master of technology.
I don't know if it was you or me. How are you doing?
It's sure myself.
Me too. I went in and out. I don't know how many times, but at the end,
But you
we
know,
made it. My God.
we are old enough for all these things.
No. Oh, God. You should have chosen a better guy.
It wasn't just with Federer that Rafa had these sort of problems. They rolled on into the Murray conversation as well.
Rafa,
How are you doing, Candy?
I can only see. Oh, there we go. You're back.
Okay.
How's things?
This Instagram life is. I am going crazy with this, man.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky getting people on it, but they are good. People seem to like them once we manage. But it was very amusing watching you trying to.
Hey, next time I'm gonna be more ready.
Okay.
All this is to say, is there a less suited person to lead this sort of web chat than Rafael Nadal? I love Rafa. It's clear he puts 110% into every tennis match, every practice he participates in. But it's also clear that that doesn't leave a lot of time for other hobbies. He's a great golfer. He's also an exceptional video game player, but it's clear technology is not his forte. I mean, can you imagine Rafa Nadal scrolling through a Google page of how to Instagram chat, how to set up a Zoom? That just, if anything, Rafa picked up a copy of Instagram Living for Dummies, quickly digested that, and got on with his show. And again, Rafa Nadal is a guy who's talented at so many things. There are so many myths about what he can do off the court. There's also always been the rumor that Rafa Nadal, who was born a natural righty, could play tennis with his right hand as well. Now, Federer asked him about that, and of course Rafa went the self-deprecating route, saying there's very little truth to those rumors.
If you are a righty, why do you play lefty if you could play righty?
No, I cannot play righty. No,
You cannot? But you can write.
That's just a legend. I can
But it's a
write
legend.
with the right hand. I can. My basketball skills are with the right. All the feelings on the right.
Yeah.
But not in a tennis court and not in a football.
Now, some of you may not be aware that he and Andy Murray spent a lot of time early in their careers battling not just on the court, but playing video games as well. And it's quite clear the competitiveness between the two carries on to this day.
We can play a match later.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
not?
I'd be up for that. Yeah, I'd be up for that. I don't have a character, so I need to. I'm not in the game. As myself, so I have to choose someone else to play with. So.
Well, that doesn't matter. You can choose, I don't know, maybe Nick or something.
Maybe I'll take Nick. Yeah, maybe I'll take Nick.
Quick side note, the fact that Nadal says Murray should play with Kyrgios sort of proves that Nick Kyrgios is in Rafa's head. He's almost saying, look, we both know the only guy who can beat me right now is Kyrgios, so you might as well take every advantage you can get, Andy. It wasn't just the most notable players on tour coming together on Instagram Live. We also were treated to a fabulous midday siesta between Stan Wawrinka and Chris Everett, and they weren't afraid to bring out the alcohol, folks.
12 o'clock noon, it's 6 or 7 o'clock somewhere. Oh, it's where you are. I thought maybe you'd have a cocktail in your hand too. Well, cheers.
Let me pick it. Give me 1 minute, 1 second.
1 second. Okay.
I'm doing really this for you. Really for you. That was quick. Cheers.
Okay. Oh, red wine's my favorite. Okay.
The new ATP WTA Series Tennis United, featuring players from across both the men's and women's professional tours, has been an absolute delight and has treated us to a lot of comedic gold. Of course, the generation of Fritz, Opelka, Tommy Paul, Francis Tiafoe all grew up together, but it's always enjoyable to watch them have fun at each other's expenses. They do that in this clip.
Who's the messiest? Okay.
No, Riley. It's faux all day here.
Ooh. What are you saying?
It's Fritz. Actually, Francis, I gotta say though, I saw that little ATP Cribs thing.
Oh, bro, that was a disaster.
There are clothes everywhere.
I mean, bro, that's just picking up.
Francis, after the room we had in like Spain when we were like 15.
Bro, you go from when we were 16.
You can't tell me you're not messier than me.
You can't, bro.
Feels like in tennis, playing style is a reflection of a person's personality, and so I could see Riley being a little more sporadic, a little more messy. I could also see it from Francis Tiafoe, but given Fritz's prowess, I suppose, as a video game player, would it shock me if he's got a pizza box lying around the house, an empty bag of Cheetos here or there? No, I guess not, so that shouldn't surprise me much. But it's still always fun to watch those guys interact. Speaking of things I've been watching, one of the recurring segments here on Overserved has been us featuring videos of people who continue to be creative with the ways they keep tennis incorporated in their lifestyles. We've got another batch of fascinating clips of people playing tennis in their homes. Westhoff, roll those now. If those are the coolest clips I've seen this week, this video of Hubie Hurkacz is certainly the weirdest thing I saw. If you're Hubie Hurkacz's neighbor and you walk by and see what he's doing in the window, do you knock on the door and ask if he needs help? It's time for us to feature our favorite pieces of content from the many professional tennis players throughout the social media universe. It's time for this week's edition of Unforced Errors. Westhoff, roll it.
Nick, since all of the tennis tour has become fitness trainers at the moment, I just want to show you my fitness program. So what you want to do is you want to come to this and you just want to make sure that you bend completely 90 degrees. So 90 degrees, as you can see. And make sure your legs are doing absolutely nothing. And you're just sitting back in the chair and just making sure your body's doing absolutely nothing. You want to do this for maybe 6 to 9 hours, so you really feel the burn. And yeah, just get ready.
She fill my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. She saw my eyes, she know I'm gone. I see some things that you might fear. I'm doing a show, I'll be back soon. That ain't what she wanna hear. Now I got it in my room. Legs wrapped around my beard. Got the fastest car Zoom. Hope we make it out of here. When I'm with you, I feel alive. You say you love me, don't you lie? Won't cry my heart, don't wanna die. Keep the pistol on my side. Cases fumes. She fill my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. We ain't stressing about the loot. My block made a quesadilla. This not the molly, this the boat. Ain't no coming back from here.
Let's end on a high note. Shout out to Riley Opelka, who donated 500 masks to his local community. Shout out to the San Diego Aviators and Brandon Nakashima, as well as they provided dinner for their local Scripps Memorial Hospital. And shout out to all of the players who continue to try and make an impact in their communities as we all continue to fight this coronavirus pandemic. That'll do it, though, for this week's edition of Overserved. If you've missed any of our Cracked Racquets content, be sure to go subscribe right there to our YouTube page so you won't miss anything moving forward. Check out our series like CR Classics on that video stream where we break down some of the best matches in tennis history. And, of course, if you've missed any of our Cracked Racquets content, be sure to go to our website, crackedrackets.com. Shout out, as always, to super producer Daniel Westoff, who has of an editing job to do on these episodes, as he always does. But that'll do it for this week's episode of Overserved. We are going to do things a little bit differently, of course, though. Billie Jean King, play us out, won't you?